Greetings, former and future great masters. And blessings to all of you. We are here at this time to talk about a great power Lightworkers have. And one that has been written off as irrelevant to so many. This great power you have we speak of is the power of prayer. Or as we of the Ascension Minds crew like to call it, prayer power. Since so many Lightworkers have risen above the limitations of religion, many meditate, yet have abandoned the idea of prayer. Because so many relate it to being an activity belonging to the religiously blind. We are here to tell those who believe this, or have never used prayer power, that nothing could be further from the truth. So many desire to learn how to manifest, yet so few understand that prayer is a manifestation power. There are indeed many who use prayer with blind faith, and it is used as a brainwashing tool for many to religiously serve as drones who repeat words given to them with no true understanding, and it's often that these words are false and serve no purpose for their souls. They are words of worship, rather than oneness. And it takes them nowhere in this life, causing them to never reach union with the divine boundless beings they truly are after this life as well. But it's important to understand that this is the proof of just how powerful the manifestation power of prayer is. The very power that can limit or even bring one down, is the same power that can ascend them. Lightworkers who pray aren't using a tool of the religiously blind. It is the religiously blind that have adopted the use of a tool of the Lightworkers. They simply use it blindly, with no conscious awareness of how it works. So it keeps them limited, when the same tool can assist them in becoming limitless. If one repeated to themselves that they were a fool several times a day, and felt it as they repeated it, they would become a fool. This is the power of prayer. And we tell you it's a great power. Like the power of one with a magic wand. Or a superhero character with a magical ring who repeats words and suddenly their ring makes what they say manifest. Lightworkers possess this power as well. Except they need no wand or ring. All they need is to say the right words, and truly feel it. Then carry this feeling with them. Like the power ring of the superhero character. If their ring created anything they believed. But they had no awareness of this. And they believed they belonged in a prison. Then living in a prison of their own creation is exactly what they would manifest. And they'd have no idea that they created that prison. This has been occurring now for ages by many of those who pray with no understanding of prayer. They pray they will be free in the future, which is their own personal affirmation that they are not free now. So they manifest staying a prisoner, because their prayers are actually being answered. As long as one prays for something in the future, the only way the Creator can answer that prayer, is to not give it to them now. And since there is only now, the Creator must never give it to them at all, until they learn to pray for it now. This is how so many have been taught to use prayer. They have been deceived into using their own power against themselves to limit themselves with no awareness of it. This is why consciousness is spoken of so often. Prayer is a tool of the masters that was stolen from them by deceivers, and distorted to keep the blind blind. A form of getting one to use their wand against themselves. Because it is that powerful. So do not see characters with magical wands and power rings as fiction. Understand that when one watches these movies or reads these books, the characters speak with confidence when they use their wands, rings, and words. They make a command or request with no doubt when they speak. Or they say, "By the power of Grey Skull, I am Shazam." Or, "Green Lantern's light." Take a page out of their book. Because they took that page out of yours. This fiction is an imitation of the masters. And the masters they're imitating are real. They are the true you. Stories of real-life masters are the inspiration of these writers. And they use fiction to write stories about the power locked away within you. Whether they are conscious of it or not. All that's needed is to awaken to this truth. But one must understand that they must not expect to awaken in order to use their abilities. They must use their abilities in order to awaken. Prayer is one of them. And those who embark on this journey of prayer power, may pray for a small thing at first. A flea-sized thing. And sometime during the day, a flea-sized thing will come. If one is new to this, it's natural to wonder if the flea-sized thing that comes is just a coincidence. But they will be a bit more inspired to pray again the next day for another flea-sized thing. Just to see. And sometime during the day, another flea-sized thing will come. After doing this a few times with building intrigue, they will feel confident enough to see if they'll get a butterfly if they pray for one. And when the butterfly comes, they will begin to realize that they're truly on to something, and may pray for something a bit larger next time. Perhaps a new car. And when it comes, they will begin to realize that this works no matter what they pray for, and is a power they've always had from childhood, and have never been taught how to use properly. But all that's needed is to understand how to use this ability. You are mature enough to know what you need in life. And one may write their own prayers. One should be patient when they write them, and realize what they're writing as a prayer is a tool of manifestation which they'll have the power to turn on and make their reality each time they recite it. So be patient, so that you may put your prayers together and say them well. Because when you do, every cell, part of your DNA, and fiber of your being will start activating. That little pause the Christ-conscious masters do right before they perform what so many consider to be miracles. Is this power? So when you say them, calm yourself. Take a few deep breaths, and feel when it is right. Then release your words. And feel the magic of your power. Remember that you're activating what you say. You're tuning into what you pray, like a tuning fork, or turning a radio dial to a particular station, and activating the vibratory timeline of it when you say it, causing it to manifest as a reality. There's no particle in the universe your prayer cannot touch. And like the soul that repeats that they're a fool, and becomes one. Say what you divinely are, within or aloud, and you will become it. It will touch all in your universe. So don't be lazy with it. Understand that you must do it the exact same way each time you pray, and you will become more and more gifted with it. So for those who will be using this power, stay aware of the truth that you have no limits with it. From affirmation prayers, to requests. And the wise way to design your own prayers is to jot down everything you desire in like. Then organize it into words to recite. If it is health, strength, a material need, answers, love, or ascension itself you desire, you have the power to pray it into existence. So put this in your prayer. Then recite this prayer daily. How many times you say your prayer each day is your choice. But it's wise to say it more than once per day, at the same exact times each day. Respect your prayer as you would a living being, if you want the energy of source you're calling forth to show enough respect to answer it. Never say your prayer in a shallow manner, or rush because you have something to do or somewhere to go. It would be wise not to say it at all, rather than to falsely say it. This is a habit you don't want to create. So keep a perfect undefeated record when it comes to saying your prayers properly. And you'll be blessed with incredible prayer power. Remember that a result, or effect, is equal to the actions which cause it. And if you want your prayers to be answered 100%, then you must do them 100%. And this is not difficult. Once started, it will become like your blissful playtime with the Creator. And it won't be long before you have this prayer memorized, and will have the power to call the words in them into existence at will. But we will inform all who will use this power, that we will speak on how to pray in coming messages, so long as there are those who would like to understand how to use this gift. They must understand that they have a higher self which is boundless, and beyond what those in this realm can begin to imagine. It knows and can achieve all easily with no bounds. The you are in this realm, and your higher self are like two individuals standing across from one another on two ends of a cliff, separated by the deepest valley below. And prayer is the bridge which causes you to meet that higher self in the middle, and bring its power back across that bridge into your life. Understanding how creating that bridge in prayer works is vital. Because how the power of prayer actually works is beyond what most know. There's far more to praying than one clasping their hands together while reciting words on their knees. Comfortable yet confident posture is very important in prayer, and it is wiser to stand tall when praying, rather than the posture of one begging for bread. This posture of standing tall which we speak of has nothing to do with arrogance. Just as the posture of a submissive begging slave has nothing to do with humility when it comes to prayer. It was a posture that was taught to keep your prayers from being answered, when the purpose of prayer should be the opposite. And those who taught it knew very well what they were doing. But those who stand on podiums teaching souls that they are weak sinners who must repent to a fictional dominant bullying God, feed on this. And without weak ones confirming their weakness by getting on their knees to show their submission to these false teachings, there would be no job for the one on the podium. Having your own connection with Source leaves them with no one to look at them as being their door to Source instead. Which means they'll no longer have their job, which is to keep you needing them. So be humble when praying, and appreciative, which is how you open your door to heart and Source. But don't be a beggar. When you pray you are activating your own connection with Source, so energy rises which is awakened from doors within. These wonderful energies flow and rise through erect postures of inner knowing, not submissive ones of doubt or fear. One who prays for that butterfly to come can't see it's bouncing before them when they're holding their head down with doubt. One who prays like a beggar, asking for a crumb, will get what they ask for, which is a crumb. Even though the universe wants to give them the biggest full-course meal they've ever had. So rise, as any divine father or mother would tell their hungry child that they love. And you will be fed like you've never dreamed. So if we see that there are those who'd like to utilize this power of manifestation, and use their prayer bridge, we will speak on it in coming messages. Because it's wise to know there are many postures and keys to prayer, from standing tall, to barefoot grounding prayers, which amplify the manifestations of your prayers. There are cycle prayers as well, from 30 to 21, on down to 3-day manifestation prayers, as well as instant manifestation prayers. And these are all paradoxes, because even 30-day cycle manifestation prayers are instant. And you will be confident in knowing what you've prayed for will come, and is as good as done once you start using this power. Just as one who buys a ticket 30 days before the date of a show, knows they will see that performance in 30 days without a doubt. One who prays must know in the same manner. Even when they see no possible way their prayer can be answered. This is when it's most fun to see the universe perform its magic for them. As well as synergy prayers, where more than one prays in unity to manifest the same result. And light workers can do this around the world with one another, knowing they are doing this simultaneously, and making something positive happen. It's an unbelievable power. And it is time for light workers to rise and learn to use theirs. At the same time, one must be responsible and understand their praying power. It would not be wise to selfishly pray someone back to life, who has completed their task in your world, and is enjoying bliss in the higher realms. Or to try to use prayer to control another soul. Such things will only backfire on one when it comes to this power. When it comes to praying for others, one should pray for nothing more than what's best for them. And these are just a few of the things we may speak of in coming messages. So until next time, we are the Ascension Minds crew. Sending love, blessings, and prayer power to all of you.